For Amazon sellers, they are good enough to create their brands, private label, and to make a quantity order.
Welcome to the Global from Asia podcast, where the daunting process of running an international business is broken down into straight-up, actionable advice. And now, your host, Michael Michelini.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Aurelia Pay. I use them personally for sending money to my Chinese suppliers from Hong Kong. It's a cross-border payment solution between China, Hong Kong, and Southeast Asia. So when I need to make a payment to a Chinese supplier, I just hop online to place the remittance, pay to the Aurelia Pay's Hong Kong-based bank account, and Aurelia Pay will settle RMB within the same business day. So check them out online at www.aureliapay.com, AURELIAPAY.com, or check them out linked in our show notes. Episode 217 of the Global from Asia podcast. And this is the interview series. I know we're mixing in these eCommerce Gladiator real-time ones, but these are the interviews with amazing business people in the cross-border e-commerce and cross-border business world. So we are keeping that up. And today we have Ricardo Li. He is a veteran in the South China e-commerce world, really well-connected, well-known, helped set up eBay in Shenzhen and China, and it's known many different e-commerce sellers and manufacturers in the ecosystem. Not many people know him in the English world. I did a video interview with him. We've worked together on events together, like previous cross-border matchmaker and amazing things. So I'm so honored to have him on this show. And we have a great conversation in this episode, talking about a little bit of the history of cross-border e-commerce, talking about the progress that sellers have been making over the years and what's important to be a successful seller, what he's seen as an incubator and a mentor of many e-commerce sellers here in China. So we just dive right in. So let's not waste any time today. Let's get into this show. I'm excited for it. And I'm also on a bus crossing the border, this time from Hong Kong into Shenzhen. And sometimes I have the videos, but you might hear the bus in the background. Boban, my amazing editor, probably might have a little bit of bus, but this is a good microphone and people are looking at me weird now, so I'm going to take a little break. But let's tune into this amazing interview. And as always, we have very extensive show notes and even transcriptions. Rhea on the team is doing an amazing job with transcriptions. Thanks, Rhea. You're listening to this, as I know you are, and transcribing it. So thank you for that. So you can check out that at globalfromasia.com/episode 217. Transcription might, just a little bit note there, might take a couple of weeks. Don't expect it to come right away. It takes her some time. But thank you, everybody, for listening, and let's get into the show. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We're on a Global from Asia TV series. We're getting together with some high-level Chinese e-commerce experts talking about their story and their business. And today we have Ricardo Li.
Yeah.
Hi. Nice to meet you again, Ricardo.
Nice to meet you, Mike.
Yeah, we've known each other for
a long time.
Many years.
Yes.
So it's great to get you here to share.
Thank you.
So you're the CEO and founder of Popeye Incubation Inc.
Yeah.
Limited?
Yes.
And it's helping lots of sellers to grow their business and brands? Or do you want to share everyone what you're doing now?
As an incubation, we help not only sellers, but also most of them are brands to expand their business overseas. So some people may have an idea how to design a new concept product and even have the stock in the inventory, in the warehouse, but they don't know how to sell it, how to build a brand. So with our experience in overseas marketing and also the operation on Amazon, we help the sellers, the brands to be successful on Amazon, to be familiar with United States and Europe consumers. So that's what we do.
Great. And so today we're talking about how you've worked at eBay in Shenzhen before, and you've been involved in e-commerce so many years.
Yeah.
Maybe do you want to share how you first got started in this world of e-commerce?
Yeah. The days I worked for eBay was like million years ago, but actually it's only 3 years ago I left. There are always many reasons that I make a decision, people make a decision. The key factor there, I would say is middle age crisis. So if eBay or any job is not the last one, so which will be the next one? And how shall I improve myself in my other days that to come? So to start a business for my own is naturally a choice for me. And I was helping eBay sellers at that time. I was thinking almost the same thing. When I left eBay, how could I help them? So incubation idea just came out. Awesome. So that's it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the sellers have been growing and developing rapidly, I think, even since the few years. But we've both been watching it since I've been here 10 years ago, and the export e-commerce has been going really great. What would you say are skills that you have or that others should have to do this business? What are some qualities?
Actually, the first thing is I was trying not to handle the day-to-day operation job. So I was helping the sellers in 2015 and 16. The fact is, they might not the best customers that I wanted or I could handle, because they all need the assignment that I finish for them, not an idea. It's not consultancy thing. It's just a job by job, thing by thing we need to finish. So in late 2016, we changed the focus from sellers to brands. Brands, they don't know how to sell, and they just trust us to sell. So in this way, we become a seller. We sell everything for the brands, not for the sellers. So the quality is so different to consultancy. It's like you need to be detail-oriented. Mm-hmm. You need to be facing the computer from all day long. You're tired with your hands, with the computer thing. You might not leave for holidays.
I know.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, so we've had other experts sharing today, and it's data, big data, right?
Yeah.
It's looking at sales data, trends, and seeing, especially with e-commerce, it's just overwhelming. So yeah, it's true. Like I worked on Wall Street too before, and it's similar in stock trading. I feel like e-commerce and stock trading, we feel like a little bit similar. You're picking a SKU or a ASIN, and then you're kind of like making your bet, and you got to watch the daily movements of the sales of the competitor. Which is very, very true. I would agree. I think a good seller needs to really be data driven and looking at Excel spreadsheets, keyword tools.
The keyword tool, the data-driven thing, and all the operational things are not so essential. Actually, we believe in product itself. For example, if the conversion rate for a product is not good enough, for example, you manage to make it on the first page of a keyword, but eventually it will go down from the first page because the conversion rate, because the customer feedback review are not good enough. Yes, we accumulate the skill sets how to make the keywords ranking thing and like the brand building thing on Amazon, and we are proud of it.
It's true. I think not to get off topic too much, but I've talked to other sellers. They say there's two ways to grow your business. There's marketing and there's product.
Right. When we talk about marketing, usually we are not referring to Amazon operation. We usually referring to offer Amazon money spending thing, like you go to PR, TechCrunch thing, or even YouTube or social media marketing. But for operation, Amazon or eBay or any e-commerce operation, it means you get money back. Marketing is you give money out. So it's related, but not so identical.
All right, interesting. So for you, how do you find out which services to grow in the incubator program or in any business you're focused on? What are some ways you decide to grow?
Currently, we focus on Amazon operation for brands, but we hardly say it's incubation. It's just sales. So we have decided to expand the business to crowdfunding thing, more marketing related. So in this way, we could build a supply chain, marketing supply chain from an idea, we want to make a product, to the inventory actually selling on Amazon. So there are two services, crowdfunding and as well as Amazon sales.
Okay.
So we can call it combined together as incubation service.
Nice. Yeah, so a lot of people build their brand first on crowdfunding, like
Yes.
Kickstarter, Indiegogo,
Right. Yeah.
and then Amazon.
Yes.
Which is cool. And then even Kickstarter has Amazon payments, I think, right? And other Amazon connections.
Right, yeah.
But,
Amazon has the largest affiliate program in the world.
yeah, Amazon Associates and everything. Well, let's take a break from the business side. What about your hobbies, your habits? What do you do for fun?
Hobbies are so embarrassing. The thing is, when I was working for eBay, I made a rule for myself that I need to learn 2 skills every year.
Okay.
So when I was in Beijing, I learned to swim. And in Shenzhen, I learned the freestyle and also the other way of swimming. Yeah. So I learned even how to play the hula ring thing like that.
Oh,
yeah.
In the swimming pool.
No, hula ring is we just stand there.
The hula hoop, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, like usually, yeah. It's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And also a lot of fun, a lot of activities. I play badminton, golf, table tennis thing. But ever since I started my own business, all the things disappeared. That's just disaster.
It's true. We have to try to find balance, but it's true. Like even me, I always want to.
There's no proper balance actually. I was lucky have the hobby of photographing too. Yeah, I have a very good camera.
Nice.
But I didn't use it since I started business. That's the thing.
Got it. So for today's series, what kind of people would you like to meet, or what kind of customers clients do you like to know more or work with?
I will be excited to meet a lot of new friends here in the meeting, including the United States and also overseas sellers.
Definitely.
That we can exchange ideas how to make better sales on Amazon.
Great.
And the second thing is we also thrilled to see vendors, suppliers to find new cool products that we could cooperate with or sell on Amazon. It's also okay we find innovative new product that we might want to share them on crowdfunding projects. That's also very important.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, innovative. That's the heart and soul of business. Maybe not just e-commerce, but
right.
The new innovative product is what drives everything.
Sure.
Very cool. All right, Ricardo.
Yeah.
I'm excited too for the event, and thanks for sharing today.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Yeah, we are looking forward to have a great, successful event.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, sure. All right. So got Ricardo back, and we're going to talk today about the story of the Chinese e-commerce seller, cross-border seller. So we've had a meetup at Hong Kong where you spoke, and it was really great. So kind of continuing off of this. So from your experience at eBay, and I think you would say the beginning of cross-border e-commerce would be eBay. Do you want to maybe share that, how it started?
I may start with a question.
Sure.
When do you think it was the beginning of the cross-border e-commerce for Chinese sellers?
I came in 2007 and it was already happening. I already knew Chinese sellers on eBay before then. I was thinking 2005 or 2006.
In our community, we judge the first year in 2003.
Wow, really?
As the first year.
Oh, wow, okay.
Because in that year, eBay just give up its China business, internet, to Taobao, and decided to leave China.
Yeah.
So in that year, it's so related to Taobao and Alibaba. Looked weird, but it's true. So some internet sellers decided not to follow selling on Taobao. They decided to follow eBay. So eBay retreated, withdrew from China market, went back to United States and Europe. So these sellers, we just sell on eBay to Europe and United States buyers on eBay.
Mm-hmm. Ah, I get it. So basically these sellers were originally selling in the China market.
Yes.
When eBay left, the sellers went with them.
Yes.
Ah, I didn't really think of it that way.
But interesting thing is coming to 2007 that eBay China understood the business from its data. While we have so much GMV sales transaction from China, we have so many sellers in China. Before that, eBay China is not so certain that they have this business.
Oh, okay.
So it's very primitive, very small business from 2003 to 2007. And from 2007 to 2013, it should be a wild growth period for eBay business. It's growing very fast. Some sellers have achieved a very, very big transaction and got a lot of money. But in that year, 2013, Amazon decided to open its market to China sellers. So that be another first day of Amazon, of China cross-border e-commerce. So Amazon sellers grow up.
I remember what I saw was I came to China the first time in September 2007.
Yeah.
And I was visiting factories.
Yeah.
And I remember it was actually a trading company, but he's like, "Oh, you sell on eBay?" He's like, "I sell on eBay too." And he's looking at my laptop because I was doing my eBay updates at that time. And he says, he was excited and he was showing me some of his. I still am friends with him. He's in Shanghai.
Yeah.
Saw him last week in Shanghai. Actually,
okay.
10 years.
Yeah.
And so he's doing really well. And then another perspective, before Amazon had Chinese sellers, a lot of Chinese still could sell on Amazon before 2013, but they had to open up U.S. companies. I think I knew sellers were opening U.S. companies in China. Chinese sellers were opening up like Delaware or California companies before 2013, right?
Yeah, the eBay business operation and Amazon sales are very different.
Yeah.
So for eBay, you need to manage a large portfolio of SKUs, and each of them do not sell a lot. But on the contrary, when you sell on Amazon, there are only several SKU, very limited SKU, that you could achieve a good sales volume. So there are two perspectives of business. But for traditional trading companies or manufacturers, it's very difficult for them to cooperate with eBay sellers. So eBay sellers, they had a tough time. They need to find the stock in the market. Not very cheap, but just with margin thing. But for Amazon sellers, they are good enough to create their brands, private label, and to make a quantity order.
Yeah, I see. And then there's also, we can also talk about Light in the Box, DHgate, Deal Extreme.
Yeah, there are these three listed companies in the older days, several years ago.
And I was, I've been around for a while as a foreigner here. And I met many there was, I think in 2009 to 2011, I was meeting a lot of these guys that they would kind of use templated shopping carts from these light-in-a-box sites and making their own. And I was always curious how they did it, but they might have even just gotten the Excel spreadsheets and just uploaded the products. And it seems like there were so many of these B2C shopping cart websites pre-Amazon. I guess those have gone away, really. But I remember everybody was building up on websites, B2C shopping carts with like light-in-a-box style features.
Yeah, the three listed companies, Light-in-a-box, dual stream thing, they were pretty successful in old days. I mean, several years ago. The thing was when AliExpress grew up back then, they were selling almost similar products, and so these websites, these domains are not selling well anymore. So they have to change their battlefield from their own website to eBay or Amazon because they are strong enough to compete with AliExpress, not them.
True. Yeah, it's been very fun to watch. Now we get to watch this, and now there's been some more. Of course, I don't know how you want to answer. Of course, I talk to a lot of foreign sellers. They always feel Chinese sellers are a little bit aggressive in their business strategies. And now I think it's even happening. Chinese sellers and other Chinese sellers are starting to kind of compete, more too, right? As Chinese sellers grow, they are also overlapping a little bit.
Yeah, it depends on the crowded complexity of the environment. I mean, these words are so absurd.
Maybe is it Red Sea, Blue Sea? I've heard of that.
Yeah, maybe Red Sea. I mean, when you sell on eBay, you focus on very limited categories. So it's very crowded for so many people to sell very similar products. The most effective weapon is to cut price. But when you have more choices to sell on Amazon and other platforms, you may have different categories, different kind of products, and at the same time, you may have grown into a sales volume. You have maybe a lot of employees, so you might not want to be so progressive to your competitors.
I see. Yeah, but I guess now Chinese sellers are registering trademarks. They're registering patents in the U.S. too now.
Sure.
So yes. I've started to hear and notice there's even IP between Chinese sellers, or there's some. Usually, it used to be foreign sellers complaining about Chinese, not respecting or the IP. Now it's like other Chinese sellers are having IP between themselves as they grow their own brands, as they grow their businesses on Amazon and foreign international e-commerce. I think it's pretty interesting to watch that happen.
Right. For ourselves, we will have the lawyers have the study of the IP problem before we start to sell anything. Even that, we cannot avoid the risk of being, there are too many problems there. But I think nobody wants to infringe other copyrights on purpose unless he just doesn't want his eBay or Amazon account. That we don't know, right?
Yeah. All right. And what do you see as the future for the e-commerce maybe field with, I guess Amazon, I think is going to probably continue to grow and dominate, and people will just keep building brands. What's your predictions for the next 5 years or so, you think?
It looks true, yes. Amazon is so dominant, not only in the United States and also worldwide. The next generation of the new platform or shopping experience comes from how we could facilitate customers shopping with more low price or better environment or easy of shopping thing. I mean, Alexa is a good choice, a good trend. Also, it's also started from Amazon, but it's a trend. For example, you can demonstrate how you put your clothes on with your glass thing is also another trend. So these new technologies or new products will facilitate consumers to shop more easily.
Got it. All right. Well, this has been very interesting. And how can people find you or your business online? Is there ways that they can find you?
My company website is popeyeinc.com.
Okay.
And when you write to me, you just write to ricardo@popeyeinc.com. That's easy.
Great. All right, Ricardo. Thanks so much for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ricardo. And you guys can check out the video series of these. We have a video with Ricardo on the YouTube and our video channel. I still like websites, so globalfromasia.com/TV if you'd like to watch that. And we have other amazing people in the Chinese cross-border e-commerce environment and ecosystem also on there. Over 20 shows. And again, a shout out to my wife, Wendy. She's amazing, and she helped produce all those amazing interviews and TV series. Video is a lot harder. I like the audio because I can do it while I'm on a bus on a Friday evening and just a few days before this show is published. And we have a great team in place and processes, SOPs, and hopefully some listeners. Hopefully some of you guys are listening and enjoying. Sometimes I always feel like I'm talking into space. I'm looking out the window of container ships at port and highways and bridges, and talking into a computer, getting looked at by people on a bus. But life is not meant to be normal. We got to make our own paths. And I'd love to hear from you. So thanks again for listening all the way to the end of this show. You can skip it now, or you can keep hearing me rambling a little bit. But I like to add these little ramblings at the end. On other shows I do, like China Business Cast, Shlomo and I just do the intro. We don't have an outro at the end of the interview, but I stick this at the end. So, also, Cross-Border Summit is coming. Don't forget, I get to hype up events on these shows, and you have to listen a little bit. crossbordersummit.com/2018, third annual, 2 full days. It's had an amazing returning listener and friend and attendee, Leslie. He's coming. He's bought a 5-pack VIP pack. So these VIPs are going fast. I think usually last year we sold out early. We don't have that many of those, so we'll probably sell out early on those and sell out the show. But hope you guys can come. I've even got some people buying the online pass. Appreciate that. We did that last year, and it was a good way for people to engage a little bit and get the access to this amazing content. So thank you again for listening. My rambling is off. It's a Friday afternoon when I do this intro and outro for each week's show. So I'm going to cut it off now before I embarrass myself more. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
To get more info about running an international business, please visit our website at www.globalfromasia.com. That's www.globalfromasia.com. Also, be sure to subscribe to our iTunes feed. Thanks for tuning in.